You may have noticed a term appearing more and more often in discussions about AI: knowledge work. It sounds like another new AI buzzword, like AI agents. But interestingly, it isn't new at all. The term goes back more than 60 years to management guru Peter Drucker. So, why has everybody suddenly started talking about knowledge work again? The answer, of course, is AI. And I think understanding this idea can help us understand something much bigger: how our jobs are likely to change as AI becomes part of everyday work. What exactly is knowledge work? Let us go back to 1959, before most of us were born. Peter Drucker introduced the idea of the knowledge worker in his book Landmarks of Tomorrow. He was describing a major change taking place in the economy. Traditionally, much of work involved physical labor or repetitive processes. But increasingly, organizations depended on people whose main asset wasn't physical strength or machinery, it was knowledge. Think about engineers, doctors, lawyers, architects, analysts, managers, and programmers. Their job is usually not simply to repeat a predefined activity. They gather information, understand a problem, apply experience and judgment, and then create something useful. Drucker believed that improving the productivity of these knowledge workers would become one of the biggest management challenges of the 21st century. And now, generative AI has made that question much more interesting because for the first time, we have technology that can participate directly in many of these thinking intensive activities. So, rather than asking simply, will AI replace knowledge workers? I think a more useful question is, which parts of knowledge work can AI perform and which parts still require us? One simple way to looking at knowledge work is to divide it into three stages: input, process, and output. And AI is beginning to affect all three. Let us start with input. Before we can make a good decision, we usually need information. That might mean searching the web, reading reports, analyzing documents, going through emails, examining spreadsheets, or collecting market data. For many professionals, this can consume a surprisingly large part of the working day. AI can already help enormously here. Give it a collection of reports and it can summarize them. Give it a spreadsheet and it can help identify patterns. Give it a large set of documents and it can help locate the information you need. Of course, we still need to verify what it produces. AI can misunderstand context, overlook important details, or sometimes produce incorrect information. So, human judgment has not disappeared, but the amount of time spent simply gathering and organizing information can reduce dramatically. Then comes the second stage: process. This is where the actual thinking happens. You analyze the information, you connect different pieces of evidence, you compare alternatives, you brainstorm, you make decisions. And this is probably where the relationship between people and AI is becoming most interesting. Earlier, we mostly used AI like a chatbot. We asked question and received an answer. Now, tools like ChatGPT work and other agentic AI systems are moving beyond that. They can help organize information, work through multiple steps, analyze files, and assist you in developing a solution. Instead of simply asking AI for an answer, you can increasingly work with AI on the problem. And then we have the third stage, output. Once you have done the thinking, you need to create something, a report, a presentation, an email, a proposal, some code, a project plan. AI is already extremely useful here. Instead of staring at a blank PowerPoint slide or blank document, you can start with an AI generated draft. You then review it, correct it, add your expertise, and improve the final result. So, your role gradually changes. You spend less time creating everything from scratch and more time directing, reviewing, and refining the work. Let us take a practical example. Suppose you have market analyst preparing a strategy for a new product launch. Traditionally, the first stage could take days or even weeks. You gather competitor information, you read industry reports, you examine customer data, you study previous campaigns. That is the input. Then comes the process. You analyze the data, you look for market opportunities, you compare different strategies, you discuss ideas with your team. Finally comes the output. You prepare the report, you create the charts, and perhaps you build a 40 or 50 slide presentation for management. Now, imagine adding AI throughout this workflow. During the input stage, AI helps you summarize research reports and organize competitor information. During the process stage, you use AI to explore the data, challenge your assumptions, and generate alternative strategies. But you still decide which strategy makes business sense. During the output stage, AI helps generate the first version of the report and presentation. You review it, correct it, and turn it into something you are comfortable presenting to management. A process that previously took weeks might now take days. But notice something important. The analyst has not disappeared. The analyst's job has changed. Less time is spent gathering information and formatting slides. More time is spent interpreting the results, making decisions, and exercising judgment. In other words, the analyst moves from being primarily a doer of individual tasks toward becoming the director of an AI assisted workflow. And that, I think, is why the term knowledge work has suddenly become important again. For decades, our professional value was closely connected to how much we knew and how efficiently we could convert that knowledge into useful work. AI changes that equation. Knowing things is still important, but increasingly our value will also depend on our ability to ask the right questions, evaluate AI generated information, make good decisions, and direct intelligent tools effectively. So, I don't think the important skill is simply learning how to use ChatGPT or any particular AI product. These tools will keep changing. The more durable skill is learning how to work with AI. How do you divide a problem between yourself and the machine? What should you delegate? What should you verify? And where is human judgment absolutely essential? That is probably the real productivity challenge for the next generation of knowledge workers. And perhaps Peter Drucker's old idea has become relevant again for exactly that reason. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the latest in AI and technology. See you in the next video.